All right, well, a lot of you guys are wondering why um, buses are worth so much money, and a lot of people have a completely they think of these things as a gold mine. They go out and they buy one project bus, and they figure, they've got one, so it's a gold mine. They're going to get rich, and completely wrong. I'm going to tell you guys why these are so much money. First of all, people want them. So they're worth more money because people want them, but that's not what makes them really worth money. So guys are out there buying these projects right now. I've seen guys spend $10,000 on something that should be sold for about $3,000, and on a project, okay, because they figure it's a gold mine. They want to get in to try and, it's like the real estate thing. They want to buy them to get rich, and honestly, you're not going to get rich, guys, especially you guys buying one for 10 grand. That's a project that's worth 3. The reason I say it's worth 3 is because how much it costs to restore one of these. Like if you take one of these buses here and you take it into a restoration shop, okay, I know the guy who did the bus that the first one that sold for $218,000, the Mouse Gray, or $214,000, whatever it was, $200,000 plus. Mouse Gray 21 window, and if you look at that bus, it is absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. I mean, it is so straight and so cherry, and it was rotisserie restored. I talked to Sean, and he usually has about $80,000 to $100,000 in these buses. So the guy buys the project for $25,000, takes it to him. They spend another $80,000 to $100,000, and yeah, they sell for $120,000, $150,000. It's because it costs that much to build. All these rubber pieces, all this stuff here takes a lot of time to put together. All this stuff costs a lot of money. If you're getting all new re-chromed stuff, like what he does, he takes original stuff, gets it re-chromed. I don't know if you guys have been to a chroming shop lately, but it costs a lot of money to have that stuff done. I mean, ridiculous amounts of money. So, all these pop-outs, the rubber for these things, you're talking about $60 or more each window to replace just the rubber in the stuff. Plus, it takes about 2 hours to do one window. So, to assemble them. So, and why is a 23 or a 13 window worth more than a combi bus? It's real simple. I mean, it's all about, and a lot of people are buying or spending more on a 13 window just because it's a 13 window and not really looking at the stuff that matters, which are the moldings. The molding kits are expensive. Installing them is expensive. Chrome emblems, much more expensive than regular ones. Of course, Safari windows, I put them on everything I sell. But the clock, you're looking at $250 now. They're going up probably in price because there's guys cutting up 11 windows, making them into 23 windows. And, the thing that makes them worth a lot more is if it has all the original seats. They're so hard to find. You can't find them. They're just not out there. Everybody threw them away. The original jail bars, those things make, or replacing the jail bars if it doesn't have them, having a seat that has jail bar mounts. So when you look at one of these for sale and it doesn't have all the original or parts, that good reproduction parts on it, then you're really not you're figuring, oh, it's worth more because it's got more wind. It's nothing to do with. It's basically it's because all that stuff costs more money. All the stuff for the moldings. Okay, so it's just it's a pure cost issue. I mean, yeah, there's some desirability in there, but 90% of it is really cost. So I see guys going out and spending. They go, oh wow, I got a 13 window, and it's like, oh well, where's the gel bar seat? Oh, it doesn't have one. Oh, okay. Well, where's the gel bars? Oh, it doesn't have those either. Oh, but I got it for 20,000. I was like, well, you didn't really get a good deal. You just, you know, kind of have to put all that extra money in when you add up the price for all those parts. Oh, it doesn't have original beauty rings. Oh, there goes about $800. You know, it doesn't have, those things all came on this bus. When this bus was new, it came with all those parts on it. So if you're missing all those parts, you subtract that from the value. Guys aren't doing that right now. It's kind of stupid because they don't know there's a bunch of idiots gotten into buying buses because they think it's like real estate. They think it's a gold mine. I gotta own one. I'm gonna get rich on this thing. You got to do it because you like them, not because of all that garbage. That's just, I've had a bus since I was 18 years old, and, it was kind of cool. I drove it and stuff, it was my work truck kind of thing. So 57 Combi, don't have it anymore. Sold it a couple years ago. I didn't want it anymore. I was tired of it. I had it all those years, it's like time to move on. And I always wanted a 23. I had a 66 11 wind or 21 window when I was 18 too, but it needed so much work that I let it go. At that time, I wasn't that good at metal work. Nowadays, I would have definitely kept that bus and restored it. This one here, I could just go to Grumpy's, and for $7,000, I've got a 23 window or 21 window bus. And they graft them, and they actually stamp the roofs with the actual original metal, and then it's basically it's just like an original 21 window. But I don't know if I want to do that because this thing's so original. It had all these parts were on it. The guy got it he wanted to see it get restored. That's why he sold it to me at a really fair price. So that was kind of cool. I was really fortunate, and he's really grateful that he saw it get done because he watched it all on Facebook. I had pictures of everything. So it's like on these camper vans. Okay, what makes these desirable? A lot of people go, "Oh yeah, well, yeah, partly it's because it's a 61 Westphalia, pretty rare, but that in itself doesn't make it worth a lot." Honestly, you guys, it's the cost of making all this interior or reproducing it or buying used stuff. If you buy all that wood and make it, if you took this thing into a carpenter and you said, hey, I want to make this interior, oh, you're talking about $10,000 or more to have him do that, make all that custom stuff, all handmade. So why do the cabinets sell for so much money at events? Well, they cost a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to reproduce. So the ones that they have at the shows are, worth quite a bit of money because they're there. So, and they're original. People want the all original stuff, So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do my own, but I'm going to make it look kind of like original. But I'm going to make it more functional because I'm actually going to camp in it. Well, my wife says she's never going to get it, but we'll see. Hopefully she does. I'd love it if she came. But yeah, it's basically it's a lot of this stuff is because it has a sub hatch, it's more work to fix that and have that working right. It's really hard work to do the wood pieces that support the hatch. Okay, it's it's if you took this into a body shop to have it restored, let's talk about that for a second. lot of people have a misconception of this stuff. I mean, really, I was talking to a couple restoration shops, and including Sean, who works by the hour. He charges, I think, $80 an hour or something like that, $60 an hour, and that's just flat out. Whatever he spends, he charges you that, and that's a fair price. He's got a shop, he's got he's got a roof, he's got to pay for. $80 an hour to me for what he's doing and how nice a work he does is fair, and he does it pretty fast. So he's up in Hesperia. People will find him if you need him. He's up there, and you get what you pay for it. He does a great job. And you're going to spend $60,000 or more to get your bus painted. So you add that. So this bus, let's say this bus is worth restored $60,000, $70,000 maybe, in that range. You're going to spend $60,000 to have it done. So you're going to have 100 in it. Is it worth, $10,000 because it's a subhatch Westie? I don't know. That's just, people are paying that. It's kind of stupid. I'm just trying to tell you guys, if you guys are looking at projects and you're thinking, you're one of those gold miners, think about this. If the bottom could fall out of this, you'll be stuck with something that's really not worth what you paid for it. So it's just like in the real estate market, when everybody says, oh my God, I'm going to have a house. I'm going to buy a house and I'm going to get rich. Because I have a house, I'll be rich. Well, look what happened. Now you're not rich, are you? So the same thing I think is going to happen with these on the project level. On the finished projects, I don't think they're really going to go down in value because it's basically a cost issue, and the desirability is still there for the collectors. I mean, guys with 250 G's to buy a bus that's restored are not stupid. They buy it for 250 G's because it costs them 5 years of their life and, almost that much money to do it. So that's why they do it. That's why they spend that money. People that have that kind of money are not dumb. Okay, so they're thinking about it from a financial aspect. So that's what you need to think about when you're buying one of these things, is you need to think about what what the cost of building it is. If you're going to do it yourself, fine, that's cool. But you need to know how much it would cost if you took it into a shop and had it done, because you never know if you're going to make it through. Most people can't stay focused on one of these things for 5 years. Now, I'm not doing these things in 5 years. I've been doing mine, and I've done 6 or 7 buses, and this one I've been hanging on to. I've been sandbagging this bus a little bit, just because I had some other ones I needed to sell to keep to pay for the building that I built a few years back. So, but really, it only takes about 4 months for me to do one. This bus I know is going to take much longer because I'm really not a carpenter, but I can do it. But I'll have a lot of fun doing all that wood. If I can just get it painted, I'll be happy, and then I'll start doing the wood as I go. I'll get the back done. I have patterns for all the door panels already, so that won't be that bad. But all the wood for the inside, the cabinets, I'm going to try and make it look original, but I'm going to have like a real refrigerator and stuff like that in there, not something that's usable. I'm not going to have an ice box that you go out and put ice in. Where do you find ice blocks anyway? Today I haven't seen one, and used to see them in the store. Oh, a block ice, you could go buy a block. I haven't seen that in years, so it's not very functional to keep the old ice box that way. So, but anyway, that's really, if you look at the same thing, when you go to these here and you go to the 21, 23 window, they have all the windows in the roof you got to do. You got the sunroof, you got all the parts for that. You've got the corner windows. You've got all that more restoration and parts to buy. So that's part of the huge reason why there were so much. Plus, people want a 23 window. Everybody wants a 23 window. But that's the reason why. It's not because you have one. That's what people. I mean, if you want to build one, guys are taking 11 windows. I mean, there's no reason you couldn't put 2 more windows in the back right there. Cut the hole for the clock. Put a clock in it. Guys are doing this stuff, and some of them aren't even disclosing it to people. A couple of them I talked to are, which is good, because they know what they're getting. And people are still paying $60,000 to $100,000. The guy's doing it in Mexico, and he says, "Oh, my metalwork guys are really good." I'm like, okay. Then they're selling for $60,000, and he pays the guys, $8 a day or something ridiculous. I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe they get 10. They normally get 8, so they're getting $10 or $15 a day. They're happy, he said. So good for them. I think that's I wouldn't do that to someone. So anyway, I'd make sure they made a fair wage, not that crap. That's ridiculous. Taking advantage of those guys is not good. But anyway, that's really the reason why there was so much money. And guys are not buying them right. They're buying them with tons of parts missing, which is the biggest faux pas I have with guys doing buses. They're buying stuff with tons of junk missing on it, and it costs them, and then they get halfway through, they realize they're into, $100,000 project. Duh. It's, that's why they sell for so much. Those guys who buy them are not stupid. Okay. And they're, halfway done, and they end up selling the bus. And it's a shame, but this is to try and get you guys who are looking at buses to get in reality, realize that you can't spend, let's just give an example. Some of the sold buses, 11 window buses, almost any year except for, if you get into the 50s, press bumpers will go for a little more because people want them more. And they're more expensive to build because you got press bumpers and you got older stuff. So that's usually the case. So sell for about the 11 windows usually sell for about $26,000, and that's about in America. You guys are back east or somewhere in. These things sell. I've seen the most I saw one sell. I saw a guy sell one of these for $26,000, or sorry, a 13 window. He sold it for $58,000. It was the most I've ever seen one sold for. But he had a turbo engine, and he probably had 15,000 in his 20,000 in his drivetrain. So subtract that, about 40 grand. Is that about right? 40 to 50 grand today. I'm just saying. And, it all depends on whether you have all the original parts on it. So, 21 windows. Fair prices are between $75,000 and $100,000 if it's completely restored. If it's not restored, of course, I'm talking about restored prices, guys. And 23 windows, average price I've seen on those, except for the early ones. Again, if you get the small taillights and all that stuff, of course, the price goes up. I did hear of a 56. All restored, and I actually saw the bus. It was actually amazing. I would have bought it for $96,000, which was really worth about, I think it was worth about 150, 160. So the guys I know that are selling those year 23 windows, fairly quickly, not not sitting on the market for, I'm not talking about the early taillights. I'm talking about regular 62 to 64, 63. 23 windows. They're actually selling about 130 to 140. So that's today. It might go up in value because, of course, labor goes up in value. Labor goes up every year. Parts go up every year. So, of course, the finished product's going to go up every year. As well as, you know, the baby boomers are getting older and they decide they want one. So those things all factor in. So, but that's, you know, if you figure your finished value minus your project cost minus the labor cost to build it, you should be able to buy it for less than what it, you know, you should be able to get a better deal by buying the project than buying the other, but it's not happening right now for some reason. It's because people are not that smart. They can't add. And the guys at the top buying them can. So, oh well. That's the way it works out. So that's why I haven't been buying many projects. I've seen a couple lately that I'd be interested in. And, you know, it's just purely a math issue. But that's so that's how you determine why they're worth so much, and it's not a gold mine, guys. It's, you know, if you want to be a gold mine, better sell it now because it probably will get you in the backside. Okay, talk to you later on the next video.